Okay, can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. 1, 2. 1, 2. Mic check, mic check. Mr. Ben in the building. Mic check. Hello and welcome to Sports Around the World. I am Austin Arome. The headlines. Nigeria ends the year in 35th position in the latest FIFA ranking. Flying Eagles coach Ladan Boso laments team's loss to Ghana, blames team on wastefulness. In basketball, Nigeria maintained top spot in Africa in the latest FIBA World Ranking. And in athletics, Chinese city of Nanjing to host World Athletics Indoor Championship in 2023. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we go into the main stories. All right, welcome back. The Super Eagles of Nigeria ended 2020 in 35th position in the final ranking released for the year on Thursday. The ranking was published on the World Football Governing Body's FIFA official website. After failing to win in any of the 4 games played in this year, the Eagles maintained that 35th spot in the last ranking. On the continent, the 3-time African Cup of Nations champions occupy 4th position. Also ending the year in 35th place is the world, and 4th in Africa is Morocco. The Teranga Lions of Senegal finished 20th as Africa's best team 2020 as Africa's best team in 20th and number 1 in Africa. Tunisia as 2nd in Africa and 26th on the globe, while reigning African champions Algeria are 31st in the world and 3rd in Africa. Belgium finished the year at number 1 and followed by France, Brazil, England and Portugal in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th respectively. The next FIFA ranking will be published on February 18th, 2021. Moving to our next story, Flying Eagles coach Laden Bosso says his team's wastefulness in front of goal led to their defeat to Ghana in the last Group B game of the 2021 Under-20 AFCON qualifier in Porto Novo, Benin Republic on Wednesday. A super free kick close to the Flying Eagles box with 8 minutes remaining in the game secured a 1-0 win for Ghana. The Flying Eagles will now hope Ghana secure a big win against Cote d'Ivoire to stand a chance of advancing into the semi-finals of the WAFU B zonal qualifiers. Bosso told Brilla FM that they played better against Ghana than they did in the first game against Cote d'Ivoire, but unfortunately very wasteful in front of goal. According to Bosso, the Ghanaian had only 1 chance and they scored it, while they had 3 free kicks in front of goal and could not make anything out of it. The WAFU B zonal tournament is the qualifier for next year's Under-20 AFCON in Mauritania. Moving on to our next story, Emmanuel Amunike has rejected Nigeria Football Federation's job offer as Super Eagles assistant coach under Franco-German gaffer Gernot Rohr. The FIFA Under-17 World Cup winner in Chile 2015 was emphatic when he spoke to Complete Sport from his base in Spain, querying the rationale behind the offer for him to work under anyone despite his high coaching pedigree. The winner of the African Nations Cup in 1994 and Olympic Games soccer gold in 1996, Amunike had previously rejected NFF technical director's job, which is now held by his former Super Eagles teammate Austin Eguavoen. The 1996 African Footballer of the Year is currently the sporting director of Egyptian Premier League side Al Makassar. He said, according to him, with his achievement in the game, both as a player and a coach, it is not normal for him to be working under another coach. Moving on to our next story, Arsenal skipper Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been fined £7,500 by CAF for sharing a series of social media posts that tarnish the honor and image of the continent's football's ruling body. Aubameyang took to social media last month to review how he and the rest of the Gabon squad were held at Banjul Airport in Gambia for more than 6 hours overnight after having their passports taken before being allowed into the country for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. CAF stated Aubameyang's decision to document the event on social media was offensive and degrading. Aubameyang began recording the squad situation at around 11:30 p.m. He posted the image of his teammates sleeping on the airport floor and claimed they were made to feel like hostages before their clash with Gambia. As a result of Aubameyang's social media post, CAF has fined the Gambia FA £75,000, half of which was suspended for 24 months. CAF released a statement that reads, "The Gambian Football Federation did not comply to the loyalty, integrity, and sportsmanship values and rules of fair play concerning the reception of the Gabonese delegation." Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we continue on sports around the world. Welcome back. In basketball, Nigeria's men's basketball team, the Tigers, move up one spot from 23rd to 22nd and remain number 1 in Africa in the latest FIBA World Ranking. The basketball governing body published the latest ranking on the official website. The ranking was made after the second window of the FIBA Continental Cup qualifiers. The Tigers' climb was as a result of the impressive performance in the first phase of the FIBA Afrobasket qualifiers in Rwanda in November. At the qualifiers in Rwanda, the Tigers won all the group games in top 10 basketball playing countries. USA are number 1, Spain are second, in third place is Australia, fourth is Argentina, and in fifth spot is Serbia. At number 6 is France, Greece occupying 7th, in 8th spot is Lithuania, number 9 is Russia, and at number 10 is Brazil. Moving on to our next story in cricket now. England will tour India early next year and play their first day-night test in the country at the biggest cricket ground in the world. The side will play 4 tests starting on 5th February with the third under lights at Ahmedabad's 110 capacity Sardar Patel Stadium. Chennai will host the first 2 tests and Ahmedabad the final 2. They will be followed by 5 2020s in Ahmedabad and 3 one-day internationals in Pune. All the matches are expected to be played in a biosecure bubble without fans. It has been reported that the United Arab Emirates, which staged the Indian Premier League from September to November, could have hosted the tour because of coronavirus concern in India. Jay Shea, Honorary Secretary of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, said it will leave no stone unturned to make sure that the tour is held adhering to all safety protocols. England and Wales Cricket Board Chief Executive Tom Harrison said the prospect of becoming the first international side to play at the magnificent Sardar Patel Stadium in Ahmedabad adds an extra dimension to the tour. Moving on to our next story in rugby, head coach Gregor Townsend is honored and privileged to sign a 2-year contract extension that will see him lead Scotland at the 2023 World Cup. Having taken charge in 2017, Townsend's 6-year tenure will make him Scotland's longest-serving head coach of the professional era. The 82-cap former player has won 22 and drawn 1 of his 40 tests at the helm. Townsend, 47, said Scotland's progress on and off the field in the past 5 years gave him real ground for optimism. Having left his role as Glasgow Warriors head coach to take the Scotland job, Townsend steered the national team to their highest world ranking of 5th in his debut season. Last year, Scotland retained the Calcutta Cup for the first time since 1983 with a stunning comeback to draw with England at Twickenham, but months later crashed out of the World Cup at the pool stage for only the second time. Townsend men have won 5 successive matches this year, the team's best run since 2011, before defeats to France and Ireland in the Autumn Nations Cup. The draw for the 2023 World Cup takes place in Paris on Monday, with Scotland in Port 3. Moving on to our next story in boxing, Eddie Hearn says he's as close to 100% as he can be that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury will fight in 2021 if Joshua beats Kubrat Pulev on Saturday. Joshua defends his IBF, WBA and WBO belt at Wembley Arena against Bulgarian Pulev. A win could lead him to facing WBC champions Fury, the first time all 4 heavyweight titles will be contested. Hearn, who is Joshua's promoter, said he wants most detail for the fight confirmed by the weekend. Saturday's bout with Pulev is the 31-year-old Joshua's first since winning a rematch against Andre Ruiz Jr. on a unanimous point decision 12 months ago. Fury had been due to fight on December 5th, but plans were abandoned and he will not return to the ring until 2021. Hearn hopes the 32-year-old next fight will be against Joshua, who will likely face Alexander Usyk, the mandatory challenger for the WBO title, if Fury rearranges a warm-up bout. Let's take another short break, and when we come back, we'll round up on sports around the world. Welcome back. In football, FIFA and the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime have joined forces for a new campaign encouraging footballers to speak out against match fixing and to raise awareness about FIFA's confidential reporting platforms. Against the backdrop of the ongoing impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on football, the subsequent economic uncertainty, and the higher integrity risk faced by many players and clubs around the world, the new joint campaign by FIFA and the UNODC aimed to raise awareness amongst players and coaches and officials about the confidential platform available to report approaches by suspected match fixers and to encourage anyone in football who may have been approached to come forward. Coinciding with the International Anti-Corruption Day on 9th December, which is this year's aim to highlight the need to recover with integrity. The joint feature messages from a range of FIFA legends including Sean Wen, Ivan Cordoba, Luke Wiltshire, Wael Goma, Steve Pleticosa, Clementine Toure, and Bibiana Steenhuis, who encourage everyone in football to recognize, resist, and report any approach to fix a match via FIFA confidential reporting platform, to submit a confidential report which will be handled in the strict confidence by FIFA dedicated integrity experts. Moving on to our next story, Diego Maradona relatives began fighting over his £37 million fortune, with at least 16 battling for a slice. The Argentine football legend, who died from a heart attack last month, aged 60, did not leave a will. Their claims were staked and a secret location in Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires, last night. But 7 more alleged love children plus 4 of Maradona's 5 sisters were all said to be vying for chunks of his legacy. The source in Buenos Aires told The Sun of UK, the battle for Maradona's money won't just be contested, it will be a World Cup. Court papers have revealed his estate includes cash in Switzerland, Dubai, and Buenos Aires, property across the globe, and a fleet of luxury vehicles. Account also shows funds from art contracts with big brands including Puma and Coca-Cola. Argentine law bans his children being disinherited and requires all to be given equal shares. The source said with no will, children close to Maradona and some he has never met will be able to claim an equal share of his fortune. Moving on to our next story, still talking football, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said he is no longer sure of the use of VAR, if the use of VAR is good for football after Wednesday's Champions League match against Midtjylland was interrupted 3 times in the second half, causing long delays. Klopp agreed with all 3 decisions, but was concerned about the amount of time the players had to wait on the pitch in cold conditions. Klopp told reporters that he used to be one of the people who said VAR was a good idea, but is not sure if he still feels so. Moving on to our next story, still talking football, still on Liverpool. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has described Mohamed Salah as an exceptional player after the Egyptian became the club's record Champions League goal scorer in the draw at Midtjylland on Wednesday night. Klopp's men were already assured of the top spot in Group D coming into the game, and they began the game in perfect fashion when Salah ran clear and poked home after just 55 seconds. It was the quickest goal the team has had in the Champions League on a night of numerous records for the much-changed visitors. Salah's strike was his 22nd in the competition, surpassing Klopp's legend Steven Gerrard. Gerrard's side Atlanta clinched 2nd place in the group with a 1-0 win at Ajax, who dropped into the Europa League, while Danish champions Midtjylland finished bottom of the table. That's much we can take on sports around the world. I remain Austin Arome. Good evening.